Hey there, so now we're moving on to how to find solutions to quadratics. We need to reference the last video to remind us of the definition of a quadratic solution. Remember roots, zeros, x-intercepts? Those are the solutions of a quadratic, all talking about the same thing. To find the solution, we factor the quadratic ax squared plus bx plus c. You're probably asking yourself, well, how do we factor? Well, we're going to use the equation x squared plus 7x plus 10, and just as a review, our a equals 1, b equals 7, and c equals 10. Step 1 is we create a factor chart. We do that by finding all the factor pairs of our c, which is 10 in our example, and add the pairs to see which one has the sum of b, which for this example is 7. It's kind of like a game. Which two numbers multiply to make c and add to make b? Step 2 is determining the actual factor pair that accomplishes just that. For our example, 2 times 5 equals 10, and 2 plus 5 equals 7. Step 3, now we place our factor pairs into our binomials. Look how both binomials have x as the first term. Well, what is x times x? 1x squared, with the 1 being invisible. That is because our a equals 1 for purposes of this lesson. Step 4 is we set each binomial equal to 0 and solve for the variable. So x equals -2 and x equals -5. Ta-da! You did it! Heads up, make sure you watch your signs. The signs of b and c are very important. Let's look at the example x squared minus 6x plus 8. A is still 1, b is -6, and c is positive 8. We go through the same steps, but as we make our factor chart, we're looking for the factor pair of 8 that adds up to -6. Well, -2 times -4 is positive 8, and -2 plus -4 is -6. So we actually found our factor pair. -2 and -4 into our binomials and set each one equal to 0. So x equals 2 and x equals 4. So now, drum roll please, review time! When a equals 1 in our quadratic, we first create a factor chart. Determine the factor pair of c that adds up to b, insert them into the binomial, and solve each for 0. So now you practice! Next, we're going to look at equations, quadratic equations, when a doesn't equal 1. See you then.